Welcome to Big Ram with Us Adventure. Today is day 8 of our Alaska road trip. We are just about to leave our campsite at Lake Louise in Banff National Park, Alberta, Canada, and head up to Jasper National Park, also in Alberta. We are going to be taking the Icefields Parkway, which should be our most scenic, beautiful drive yet. Might be the most scenic, beautiful drive of our entire trip. We're going to stop first at Peyto Lake, and then we'll head up and make a stop at Athabasca Glacier before getting to the Whistler's campground. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Yep. All right. It is just after 7 a.m. and it's 28 degrees out, but it is beautiful, clear skies and sunny, so it should warm up here as it gets a little bit later in the day. Let's hit the road. Peyto Lake. The trail probably would have been a little bit easier later in the year. It's paved. It is a little steep. They do have an easier section that you can route around the steepness, but still covered in snow and ice. Made it very slippery, but definitely worth it. We timed everything very well. We got here before it started to get too crowded. Parking lot is starting to fill up now as we're getting ready to leave. But the view was absolutely amazing. The weather's perfect. It is calm. There is no wind. So the lake was like a mirror.
Oh, yeah. It was beautiful.
Beautiful blue color, and the mountains reflected perfectly. I mean, the water was perfectly still. It was amazing.
Yeah.
But it's time to get back on the road and head up to Athabasca Glacier next. just finished exploring the Athabasca Glacier and the Columbia Icefields Center. We didn't go all the way to the glacier, so there's a pretty small parking lot. There were a couple of RVs down there, but it looked pretty full, and we didn't want to try and drive the trailer down there. Across the road is a large RV parking lot that is full of mostly rental RVs. There are a couple other, I think that's the trailer that we were parked next to at Peyto. Right next to us now. Yeah.
Looks like it.
There's from next to us. There are a couple of large trailers and personal RVs here, but it looks like mostly rental RVs.
Yeah.
We decided, since we're only about an hour away from the campground, but check-in isn't until 2, so we checked out the Columbia Icefields Center, which has a national park exhibit in a Jasper National Park exhibit in the basement. And then there was a gift shop on the main floor, restaurants on the second floor. There's only 2 restaurants to choose from. One of them didn't look like it had any kid-friendly options. These guys didn't want anything on there, so we went to the other one called the Chalet. I would not recommend it. It was overpriced cafeteria food. Sounded like the pizza that you had was all right, Daniel, right? Yeah. If you absolutely have to, probably go for the pizza. Definitely don't get the burger. It was the absolute worst burger I have ever had. It was so dry and gross. I maybe had 3 bites, and it was $165 Canadian to feed the 4 of us there. So way overpriced for being cafeteria food, essentially. The poutine was okay. It was edible at least, and that actually filled me up. It was a pretty generous serving of poutine.
Pretty big.
Yeah, but the cheese curds were cold on it. The fries were decent. The gravy was warm at least. Cheese curds were cold. Probably would have been better off just coming back to the trailer and making our own lunch, but we had some time to kill. What did you guys think of the glacier and everything here?
That's really cool.
It's pretty
big.
Cool. They do have some tours that look pretty neat, but it is extremely crowded here now. I mean, we got to the parking lot. It wasn't too crowded when we first got here, but by the time we got done doing the Forefield hike, which is the closest to this parking lot, we still had to walk across the road, and you kind of walk along a ridge, and where the glacier used to be over 100 years ago was up to this level. Actually, it was originally over the parking lot that we're sitting in now. Would have liked to gone down to the toe of the glacier, but again, limited parking there. We didn't think we could fit the trailer. I was kind of tempted to drop the trailer here in this parking lot and drive down there, but it's pretty full. These guys were cold and not wanting to hike anymore, so we just stuck with the Forefield Trail and hiked back.
I really like that trail, though. It was really cool because it was rocks.
Yeah.
So it's like a rock trail.
It was pretty cool. Could see some people out on the glacier, and we saw, I couldn't quite see them, but somebody told me on the hike back that way up on the mountain to the left of the glacier, there were some people climbing up there, and it looked like they were snowboarding down. I did try and capture it in the hyperlapse, but at that wide angle, it might be really hard to see there. There are actually 2 glaciers visible from this point. So there's the main thing, the Athabasca Glacier that everybody's hiking up to. And then to the right of that is the Dome Glacier. And of course, those are connected to, you can't really see it, but up above the glacier there, the larger Columbia Icefield, that there are several other glaciers that come off of the larger icefield. Pretty neat. But we are ready to head on to our next camp now. So we're headed further into Jasper National Park and gonna spend a few days camping at Whistler's campground. So let's get back on the road. that's the end of day 8 of our Alaska road trip. We are now at the Whistler's campground in Jasper National Park. We left about 7 this morning. Made our first stop at Peyto Lake, which was a great start to the day. Absolutely stunning, just beautiful view there. And then from there, we continued down the Icefields Parkway. It started to get a bit cloudier the further north that we got. And then we saw a whole bunch of people running along the road. Crazy. Would you run that far?
No.
No? Me neither. Not sure what the deal was. It was some sort of race, but it just said caution runners on road.
Yeah.
We didn't see like anything saying what it was all about. There was just a lot of runners, and their support vehicles were all along the shoulder and in a lot of the pullouts. So in a lot of areas, it was kind of slowing down traffic as people tried to make sure they weren't hitting either the runners or the support vehicles. Around pretty nuts. So if you happen to be out running the Icefields Parkway on June 8th, 2024, leave a comment and let us know what that was all about. We'd love to know more. Let us know why you were running it, how far was it, and especially if you happen to see yourself in our video of driving down the parkway. It might be hard to spot. I mean, hyperlapse, so it's going to be pretty sped up. But there was a lot of you out there, so maybe one of you happens to watch this. And same thing if you happen to be hiking at Peyto Lake or at the Athabasca Glacier today. Make sure you leave a comment and let us know if you saw us in either of those segments. We'd love to hear from you. Our next stop was the Athabasca Glacier. Now, parking there was kind of limited. We didn't think we'd be able to fit the trailer down in the very smaller parking lot for the toe of the glacier. Would have loved to, but we decided to park across the road at the Columbia Icefield Center, Columbia Icefields Center. It had a massive RV parking lot there. It was a little busy when we first got there, but not too bad. We walked across the Icefields Parkway and did part of the Forefield Trail, which got us a little bit closer to the glacier. Got a cool view of the Athabasca Glacier from there, but it would have been a really, really, really long walk to get down to the toe of the glacier to do that trail. So we skipped that. We were a little bit cold. Had some lunch there, and then moved on. It just a beautiful drive today. I think one of the most, if not the most beautiful drives that I've ever done. Definitely that we've ever done as a family. What did you guys think of the drive today?
It was so nice.
This fall.
And I really like the part where we saw the everything waterfall. And then there were bighorn sheep.
Yeah. So we saw a little herd of bighorn sheep. There was at least a half a dozen just kind of grazing at the side of the road. That was causing a bit of a traffic jam as well. Luckily, we were able to pull into the turnout there. We didn't notice them when we first pulled in. We thought we were just kind of going to stop and walk up and see the cool waterfall that was roadside there. And then as we were walking up to the waterfall, we saw these bighorn sheep. And I had left my camera in the truck. So I was like, I hope they're still there by the time we walk back down after we check out the waterfall. And they were. So I went back and grabbed my camera, and I got some really good shots of the bighorn sheep. We got some decent ones on our cell phones as well, but I'm excited to see the ones from my real camera.
Yeah.
Yep. And then what do you guys think of this campground?
What motion?
Nicer than the other ones. Whistler's campground is nice, spacious site. We are in one of the loops that is full hookups. And unfortunately, since we discovered that our water hookup was broken, leaking everywhere, leaking inside the trailer at the beginning of our trip. Back on day 1, our first night, we found that out. We're only going to be able to take advantage of the electric here, which kind of stinks. But It's a really nice campground, brand new bathroom and shower facility, probably the nicest bathroom and shower facilities I have ever seen at any campground I've stayed at. And I've been camping since I was younger than these guys. I've been camping about, well, actually more than 40 years, pretty much my whole life. My parents took me camping as a baby. Of course, I don't remember the campground as a baby, but for as long as I can remember, I don't think I've seen a nicer shower bathroom facility at a campground. So they're really nice. They did warn us at check-in that there is a lot of animal activity in the campground, which is evident by the poop everywhere. And not the dog poop like we saw at our first stop. No, the end of our campsite, right in front of the truck, is, I believe, some elk poop, because there's a lot of elk in the area, which is very similar to looking to deer poop. And then the paved loop, where all the campsites are at, appears to be covered in goose poop. That was what it looks like to me. And then I saw a couple big piles that looked like bear poop. The ranger, when we checked in, did say that there was a bear in the area earlier in the campground. And they, of course, warned us to not keep anything that smells outside. So no food or anything used to prepare food. In fact, we actually saw the people in the site next to us, had the rangers stop by and tell them that they needed to bring their trash inside the trailer because they had a trash bag hanging outside their trailer in order to bring it in. They also warned us about the elk because it is calving season. So the elk, female elk, separate from the rest of the herd to give birth, and they wander around with their calves. They're extremely protective of them. They may even be more dangerous than the bull elks at this time of year. And seeing what we believe is elk poop out there means that we might see some wandering through the campsite over the next few days that we're here, which would be cool. We did see an elk back in Banff. That was actually the second wildlife we saw. We saw the wolf driving into the park, and our first excursion there, we saw a doe elk on the side of the road. The bighorn sheep were the new thing today, so that was pretty cool. Yeah. All right. What do they need to do if they enjoyed today's video?
You guys should like and subscribe.
As always, do what my son here says, because we got lots more coming up. Again, this was day 8, but this is just our first day in Jasper. We're going to be here for the next couple days and going and seeing a few things. Tomorrow we have a boat tour of Malign. I think it's Malign. I'm not sure if that's the right pronunciation of it. It looks like Malign. Malign Lake, and we'll see Spirit Island out there, the thin spot, in the evening. So looking forward to that. And then we've got probably do some hikes before the boat tour there. We have a couple hikes planned for Monday as well. And then Tuesday, we will be leaving Whistler's campground here in Jasper National Park and heading further north to catch the starts of the Alaska Highway. We will be staying at the Mile Zero campground, provided they have rooms. We don't have any reservation there. Hopefully they have room. We'll be staying there at the very start, so it's called Mile Zero, of the Alaska Highway, and then continuing on to Alaska and Denali National Park. So if you do what my son said, you'll get notifications when the rest of the videos for our trip upload. As always, thanks for watching, and we hope to see you in the next one.